Okay, Stuart?
Okay.
Okay, so today here we are with Stuart, a pressure washing engineer, and what Stuart doesn't know about pressure washers is not worth knowing. So we brought a machine in for Stuart to have a look at. Effectively what's happened with this machine is that it's got a loss of pressure, and we've been through all the usual stuff with the suction hose. That's all working fine. We're sort of scratching our head now, and it's time to pass it over to Stuart. So potentially, Stuart, what could be the problem with this machine?
The next thing we've got to check is, if we've gone through all the basic checks of suction, is the unloader valve.
Okay.
The easiest way to check the unloader valve is to connect the machine up as normal with a suction hose and high pressure hose. Run the machine up, get water going through your lamps. With the trigger open, you should have full working pressure and nothing coming out of the bypass pipe.
That's correct,
When you close the trigger, you should have full pressure coming out of your bypass pipes. If it's a case that when you pull the trigger, everything still comes out of your bypass pipe, it's related to the stem in the unloader.
Right, okay.
If when you close the trigger, nothing comes out of your bypass pipe and it loads the engine, then it's related to the front shuttle in the unloader. So you've got two main areas to look at.
Okay, well shall we have a little look and see how we can repair that?
Okay, if we take it as a case then now that we've pulled the trigger and everything is remaining coming out of the bypass pipe, very easily, just take off the plastic cap of the unloader. Underneath there's a 13mm nut.
Okay.
Just on that, unscrew that straight out.
Then
we remove it in there, just a knob on the top. Underneath there. This one's been tightened down.
So what have we got here then?
Underneath there you've just got the tension spring and the wash on the top.
Okay. Remove.
That's the stem. Adjustable spanner or span on the bottom.
Okay.
Undo the stem. And the stem will lift out, there's going to be no loss of springs or anything like that.
Okay.
And then there's various damage that we can have on the stem.
Right, let's have a little look then, see if that's the reason this is faulty.
This is definitely faulty. There's two main areas. The most important one, if you can see it on the camera, is the end of the stem. It's all grooved and pitted. This pump's been cavitating badly. A lack of water just completely worn all of that stem away.
Now, is that maybe because someone has left the engine running without any trigger action?
Not really, no. It's normally with a lack of water, possibly a blocked suction filter or a trap, or if you've got somebody who's feeding the machine off the mains and the mains aren't up to the litres per minute.
That's why we need to suck from a tank, isn't it?
And also you can see one of the O-rings has disappeared in the middle there.
Oh, okay.
On that one.
Okay.
What we're actually looking for is that. Is a nice clean stem with the two backing rings and the O-rings on there.
Okay.
Now you can have two types of problems with the stems. As I say, if you've got a situation where you've got a lack of water and it's cavitating, it's going to groove it. If you've got a situation there where you've got a very small leak, and I mean a small leak in your bypass, in your high pressure hose, the unloader will bounce when the trigger's closed. Leave it like that and you'll flatten out the bottom of the stem on the ball. And when you do that, it won't
So that needs to be like a ball nose rather than a flat nose.
That's right.
Got it. Okay.
As with that there. Okay.
So that's a good one. A good ball nose.
On the end.
Okay. Okay, so we've identified the problem then. Should we replace the unloader valve then?
Can do that.
Let's do it.
Okay, removal of the unloader. The first thing we need to do is take off the suction and bypass pipes. Okay, with the unloader to remove it, you've taken the stem out to inspect it. Just for ease, leave that out of the way.
Okay.
First thing we need to do is remove the bottom of the green filter. Then we're going to remove the green filter completely.
Okay.
The unloader
yeah.
is held onto the head with a nipple. That's normally Loctite in place, so it's quite
sure.
stiff.
Yeah.
So there's 2 flats on the unloader.
Yeah.
Spanner on. And then just completely unscrew it. And that's the unloader. Okay, once we remove the main body of the unloader, one thing that we've got to remove now is your bypass elbow, and that's just simply screwed in.
Back it off.
Yeah, just back that straight out.
Yeah.
And that's now the unloader complete, stripped off, ready to fit the new one. Your new unloader's come. There's various things we need to do. Because you can adjust these and put them in various configurations, these 2 blanking plugs here are loose.
Okay.
Just unscrew them. Make sure at the bottom there's a copper washer to seal them. Screw them in, and then with an Allen key, just do them up firmly. So before we fit the unloader, it's advisable to remove the adjuster knob just to give yourself a little bit more room.
Okay.
And we're ready to screw this on. Now before we do that, we need to put some touch sealant on the stud there.
Okay, yeah.
PTFE tape's always a good one.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use PTFE tape, you can use a Loctite type substance. However, it must be a removable one.
Okay.
We use nut grade, which means when we screw it on, we can take it off later. Don't use something like a bearing fit, because it won't come off.
It'll never come off again. Okay, that's good.
New unloader, just screw it straight on, and with the adjuster knob on there, you'll find that it clears the pump completely.
Excellent.
Bring it round, and what you're looking at is about a 45-degree angle on the head.
Sure.
And the reason for that is we can now screw the filter back in.
Makes sense.
Once again, PTFE tape on the filter threads.
And the PTFE tape, that just helps prevent leakages, doesn't it, Stuart? Yeah.
If you don't put PTFE tape, particularly on the suction side, it'll suck in air.
Yeah.
And it won't prime.
Okay.
The inlet filter is an aluminium type casting.
Okay.
So please don't over tighten it.
Okay.
It wants to be like that with the green cap facing downwards.
Okay.
Screw that in. And then just lock it off with your Allen key to prevent any air leaks.
Okay.
What we want to do now is replace the spring and the adjuster knob.
Adjuster knob, I call it the hand grenade.
Yeah. And then slightly awkwardly your 13mm lock back on the top to prevent you unscrewing it completely. Once you've done that, you're going to put the bypass elbow back in place. Once again, PTFE tape. Facing forward, and that's your unloader replaced.
Fantastic.
And now it's just a case now of refitting the suction hose and the bypass hose, and that's the unloader replaced completely.
So it's quite, all in all really, Stuart, it's quite a simple job really, isn't it? And people really don't need to worry about fitting one of these, because it is quite straightforward, as you've quite well demonstrated there. Right, okay.
I want to just point out one more thing.
Yeah.
When we spoke at the beginning, if it's a case of when you let go of the trigger,
yeah,
nothing comes out of the bypass port,
yeah,
and it stalls the engine.
Okay.
That's related to one more part within the unloaded front shuttle.
Yeah.
If you unscrew the chemical inject in the first hexagon, inside there you have got a spring-loaded plunger.
Okay.
Just be careful you don't drop the spring and the plunger on the floor when you take it apart.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at.
Okay.
That needs to be free,
yeah,
spring-loaded,
yeah,
and the O-ring on the top in one piece.
Okay, so if that was stuck then, Stuart, what do we need to do?
If that's stuck,
yeah,
just pull it out,
yeah,
take out the spring,
yeah,
check inside for scoring and dirt,
okay,
little bit of wire wool on that,
yeah,
spring back in,
yeah,
make sure.
and as long as it's free running.
As long as it's free,
yeah,
that'll work quite happily.
Okay.
If it gets jammed with a piece of dirt, it'll prevent it from loading, loads the engine, and can stall it.
Okay. Yeah, sure, because what happens when you put your hand on the trigger and then you take your hand off the trigger, you'll hear the engine will be struggling, won't it?
It'll start to stall the engine.
Yeah, it'll start to stall the engine. It's quite simple then just to unload, take that off and make sure that it's free running.
That's right, yeah.
Got it. Okay, Stuart, that's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time. That's much appreciated, and I'm sure the guys will be able to do that quite easily and get back to work and keep earning a few pennies.
Thank you.
Thank you.